history and this is history. Hi friends, I'm Sumat here. Today we are going to discuss history and this is going to be useful for the people who are preparing for KS and IAS and other competitive exams. And it is going to be really useful for the people who are preparing for prelims as well as the mains, answer writing and essay. Do like my videos and subscribe my video for more updates. Let us get into today's topic, that is prehistory of India and the Harappan culture. In this we are going to detailedly discuss the prehistorical periods and the origin and evaluation of Harappan civilization, socio-economic conditions of the Harappan people and cultural life of the Harappans, the decline of the Harappan civilization. These are the topics that we are going to discuss in detail. Let us get into the topic. The history of human settlement in India goes back to prehistory times. No written records are available for the historical period. However, plenty of archaeological remains are found in different parts of India to reconstruct the history of this period. And they include the stone tools, pottery and artifacts and the metal implements used by the prehistorical period. The development of archaeology helps much to understand the life and culture of the people who lived in this period. So in India, the prehistory historical period is divided into Paleolithic, that is Old Stone Age, Mesolithic means Middle Stone Age, and Neolithic, that is New Stone Age, and the Middle Metal Age. However, these periods were not uniform throughout the Indian subcontinent. The dating of the prehistoric period is done scientifically. The technique of radiocarbon dating is commonly used for this purpose. It is based on measuring the loss of carbon in organic materials over a period of time. Another dating method is used as a dendrochronology. It refers to the number of tree rings in wood. By counting the number of tree rings in the wood, the date of the wood is arrived at. So, Paleolithic or Old Stone Age. The Old Stone Age sites are widely found in various parts of Indian subcontinent. These sites are generally located near water sources. Several rock shelters and caves used in the Paleolithic period are scattered across the subcontinent. They also lived rarely in huts made of leaves. Some of the famous sites of the Stone Age in India are the Son Valley and Patwar Plateau on the northeast India, and Shivalik Hills on the North India, Bhimbika in Madhya Pradesh, Admarga Hills in Narmada Valley, and Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh, and Athimapakkam near Chennai. In Old Stone Age, food was obtained by hunting animals and gathering edible plants and tubers. Therefore, these people are called as the hunter and gatherers. They used stone and tools and had sized and flaked off large pebbles for hunting and animals. Stone implements are made up of the hard rock known as a quartzite. Large pebbles are often found in the river's terrace, and the hunting of large animals would have required the combined effort of group of people with a large stone axes. We have little knowledge about their language and communications. Their way of life becomes modified with the passage of time, since they made attempts to domesticate animals and make crude pots and grow some plants. A few old age paintings have also been found and rocks at Bhimbika, other places. The period before 1000 BC, that is 10,000 year BC, is assigned to this Old Stone Age. So, Mesolithic or Middle Age, or the next stage of human life, is called Mesolithic or Middle Stone Age, which falls roughly from 10,000 BC to 6,000 BC. and it was a transitional phase between the Paleolithic age and Neolithic age, and Mesolithic remains are found in a Langraj in Gujarat, Andaman in Madhya Pradesh, and also some places of Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. The painting and encarving found at the rock shelters give an idea about the social life and economic achievements of Mesolithic people. In the sites of a Mesolithic age, different types of stones is found. These are their tiny stone artifacts and often not more than 5 centimeter in size, therefore called microlithic. The hunting and gathering pattern of life continued during this period, and however there seems to have been a shift from big animal hunting to small animal hunting and fishing. The use of bow and arrow also began during this period. Also, there began tendency to settle for a longer period in an area. Therefore, domestications of animals and horticulture and primitive cultivation started. Animal bones are found in these sites, and these include dog, deer, boar, and ostrich. Occasionally, burial of the dead along these. Some microliths and the shell seems to have been practiced. Neolithic age, a remarkable progress is noticed in human civilization in the Neolithic age. It is approximately dated from 6000 BC to 4000 BC. Neolithic remains are found in various parts of India. These include the Kashmir Valley, Chirad in Bihar, Belan Valley in Uttar Pradesh, and the several places of Deccan. The important Neolithic sites excavated in South India are Maski, Brahmagiri, Halluru, Kadekal in Karnataka, and Payampalli in Tamil Nadu, and Utnaru in Andhra Pradesh. The chief characteristics features of the Neolithic culture are the practice of agriculture, domestications of animals, and polishing of stone tools and manufactures of pottery. In fact, the cultivations of plants and domestications of animals led to the emergence of village communities based on sedentary life. There was a great improvement in technology of making tools and other equipment used by man. Stone tools were now polished. The polished axes were found to be more effective tools for hunting and cutting trees, and mud bricks houses were built instead of grass huts, and wheels were used to make pottery. Pottery was used for cooking as well as storage of food grains, and large stones were used to coffin for the burial of dead. There was also improvement of agriculture where wheat, barley, rice, millet were cultivated in different areas at different points of time. Rice cultivation was extensive in eastern India, and domestications of sheep, goat, and cattle was widely prevalent, and cattle were used for cultivations and for the transport. The people of Neolithic age or used clothes made of cotton and wool. Metal age. The Neolithic period is followed by Chalcolithic, that is copper stone period, when copper and bronze came to be used. The new technology of smelting metal ore and crafting metal artifacts in an important development in human civilizations, but the use of stone tools not given up, and some of the microlithic tools continue to be essential items, and people began to travel for a long distance to obtain metal ores. This led to a network Chalcolithic culture, and the Chalcolithic cultures were found in many parts of India. Generally, Chalcolithic culture had grown in river valley, and most importantly, the Harappan culture is considered as a part of Chalcolithic culture. In South India, the river valley of the Godavari, Krishna, Tungabhadra, Pennar, and Kaveri were settled by farming communities during this period. Although they were not using metals in the beginning of the metal age, there is an evidence of copper and bronze artifacts by the end of the second millennium BC. Several bronze and copper objects, beads and terracottas, figurines and pottery were found at Payampalli in Tamil Nadu. The Chalcolithic age followed by the Iron Age. Iron is frequently referred to in the Vedas. The Iron Age of the Southern Peninsula, often related to megalithic burials and megalithic means large stones. The burial pits were covered with these stones. Such graves are extensively found in South India. Some of the important megalithic sites are Haluru, Maski in Karnataka, Nagarjunakonda in Andhra Pradesh, and Adi Chanchanalluru in Tamil Nadu, and black and red pottery, iron artifacts such as sea hides and sickles and small weapons were found in the burial pits. The Harappan civilizations. The earliest excavation in the Indus Valley were done at Harappa in the West Punjab and Mohenjo-daro in Sindh. Both places are now in Pakistan. The finding in these two cities brought to light of a civilization. It was first called the Indus Valley Civilization, but this civilization was later named as the Indus Civilization due to the discovery of more and more sites far away from the Indus Valley. Also, it has come to be called as an Harappan civilization after the name of its first discovered site. Important sites among the many of the sites excavated, the important are Kot Diji and Sindh, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, Rampur in Punjab, and Banawali in Haryana, Lothal in Surkut and Dholavira, all three in Gujarat. The largest cities are approximately 100 of hectares in size, and Mohenjo-daro is the largest of all the Indus cities, and it is estimated to have spread over the area of 200 hectares. Origin of evaluation. The archaeological findings excavated for the last 8 decades reveals the gradual development of the Harappan culture. There are 4 important stages or phases of evaluation, and they are named are pre-Harappan, early Harappan, mature Harappan, and late Harappan. The pre-Harappan site is located in eastern Balochistan. The excavations are at Mehegra, that is 150 miles at the northeast of Mohenjo-daro, reveals an extensive of pre-Harappan culture. In this stage, the nomadic people began to lead a settlement agriculture life. In the early Harappan stages, the people lived in large villages in the plains. There was a gradual growth to towns in an Indus Valley. Also, the transitional form of rural to urban life took place during this period. The site of the Amir and Kot Diji remain the evidence for the early Harappan stage. In the mature Harappan stage, great cities emerged. The excavations at the Kalibangan with its elaborate town planning and urban features proves this phase of evaluation. In the late Harappan stage, the decline of the Indus Valley stated the excavations at Lothal revealed the stage of evaluation. Lothal with this port was founded. Much later, it was surrounded by massive bricks wall as flood protections. Lothal remained an emporium of trade between the Harappan civilization and the remaining part of India as well as Mesopotamia. Date of Harappan culture. In 1931, Sir John Marshall estimated the duration of the occupation of Mohenjo-daro between 3250 and 2750 BC. Subsequently, as and when new cities were discovered, the dating of the Harappan culture is modified. The advent of the radiocarbon method paves view for the fixing almost culture dates by 1956. Fair service and brought down the dating of Harappan culture of between 2000 to 2000 and 1500 BC, and the basis of radiocarbon dates of his finding in 1964. D.P. Agarwal came to the conclusion that the total span of this culture should be between 2300 and 1715 BC, 50 BC. Yet there is a further scope of modification of the states. Silent feature of the Harappan culture. The first one is town planning. The Harappan culture was distinguished by its system of town planning on the lines of the grid system, that is a street and lanes cutting across one another almost at right angles, thus dividing the city into several rectangular blocks. And Harappa, Mohenjo-daro and Kalibangan each had its own citadel built, and the high podium of mud bricks, and below the citadel in each city lay a low town containing brick house, which were inhabited by the common people. The large scale use of burnt bricks in almost all kind of constructions, and the absence of stone building or the important characteristics of Harappan culture. Another remarkable feature was the underground drainage systems connecting all houses to the streets drains, which were covered by the stone slab or the bricks. The most important public place of Mohenjo-daro is the Great Bath, measuring 39 feet length and 23 feet breadth and 8 feet depth. Flights of steps and either end led to the surface. There are side rooms for changing clothes. The floor of bath was made of burnt bricks, and water was drawn from the large well in the adjustment room, and on outlet from one corner of the bath led to another to drain. It must have served as a ritual bathing site, and the largest building in Mohenjo-daro is the granary, measuring 150 feet length and 150 feet breadth, and but the citadel of Harappa were find many as 6 granaries. So, economic life of Harappans, there was a great progress in all spheres of economical activities such as agriculture, industry, and the craft and trade. Wheat and barley were the main crops grown, beside sesame, mustard, and cotton. Surplus grain is stored in a granary. Animals like sheep, goat, and buffalo were domesticated. The use of horses is not yet firmly established. A number of other animals were hunted for food, and including deer. The specialized group of artisans includes goldsmiths and bricks makers and stone cutters, weavers, boat builders, and terracotta manufacturers, and bronze and copper vessels are the outstanding examples of Harappan metal craft. Gold and silver ornaments are found in many places. Pottery remains plain, and thus some places red and black painted pottery is found. Beaded ware manufactured from the wide variety of semi precious stones. Internal trade was extensive with the other parts of India. Foreign trade was mainly conducted with Mesopotamia, Afghanistan, and iron, gold, copper, tin, and several semi-precious stones. Where important main exports were several agricultural products such as wheat, barley, peas, oil seeds, and variety of finished products, and including cotton, gold, pottery, beads, terracotta, figures, and ivory products. There is much evidence to prove the trade links between the Indus and Sumerian people. Many seeds of Indus Valley have been found in Mesopotamia. Tradeways of the barter type, the seal and terracotta models of the Indus Valley reveals the use of bullock cart and the oxen for a land transport and the boat and ship for the river and sea transport. Social life of Harappan. Much evidence is available to understand the social life of Harappans. The dress of both men and women consists of two pieces of cloth, one upper garment and another one is a lower garment. Beads were worn by men and women, and jewelry such as bangles, bracelets, fillets, girdles, anklets, earrings, and finger rings were worn by women. These ornaments were made up of gold, silver, copper, bronze, and semi-precious stones. The use of a cosmetic was common. Various household articles, men of pottery, stones and shells, ivory and metal have been found at the Mohenjo-daro. Spindles, needles, combs, fish hooks, knives are made up of copper, and children toys included little clay pot and marbles, balls and dice were used for games. Fishing was a regular occupations, while hunting and bullfighting were other pastime. There were a number of specimens of weapons or war, such as axes, spearheads, daggers, bows, arrows made of copper and bronze. Art, the Harappan sculptures revealed a high degree of workmanship and figures of men and women, animals and birds made up of terracotta, and the carving on the seals show the degree of proficiency attained in the sculptures. The figure of a dancing girl from the Mohenjo-daro made of bronze is remarkable for it as a workmanship. Its right hand rests on hip, while the left arm covered with the bangles and hangs loosely in a relaxed postures, and two stone statues from Harappa, one representing the back view on man and the other of dancer are also specimens of their sculptures. The potteries from Harappa is another specimen of the fine art of the Indus people. The pots and jars were painted with various designs and colors. Paint and pottery is better quality. The pictorial motifs and consist of a geometrical pattern like a horizontal lines and circle, leaves, plants and trees. On some pottery pieces we find figure of fish or peacock. Script, the Harappan script has set by still to be fully depicted. The number of signs is between 400 to 600, which 40 or 60 are basic, and the rest of they are variants. And the script was mostly written from right to left, and a few long seals the Boustrophedon method. Writing in the reverse directions in alternative lines was adopted. Parpola and his Scandinavian colleagues came to the conclusions that the language of Harappan was Dravidian. A group of Soviet scholars accepted this view. Other scholars provide a different view connecting the Harappan script with that Brahmi. And the mystery of the Harappan script still exists, and there is no doubt that the depiction of Harappan script will throw much light on the culture. Religion. The religion from the seal and terracotta figures and the copper tablets, we get an idea on the religion life and Harappans. The chief male deity was Pasupati, photo Shiva, and represents the seal as sitting on a yogic posture with the three faces and two horns. He is surrounded by four animals: elephant, tiger, rhino and buffalo, each facing in a different directions. The two deer appears on his feet. The chief female deity was mother goddesses, represents in terracotta figurines, and in later times linga worship was prevalent. Trees and animals were also worshipped by Harappans. They believed in ghosts and evil forces and used amulets and protects against them. Burial methods. The cemetery discovered around the cities like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Kalibangan, Latul and Raipur throw light on the burial practice of the Harappans. Complete burial and post-ceremonial burial were popular at Mohenjo-daro. At Latul, the burial pit was lined with a burnt bricks indicating the use of coffins. Wooden coffins were also found at Harappa. The practice of burial is found at Latur, sometimes with pairs of skeletons. However, there is no clear evidence for the practice of sati systems. And decline of Harappan culture. There is no anonymous view of pertaining to the cause for the decline of Harappan culture. Various theories have been postulated. Natural calamities like recurring floods or drying of rivers, decreasing fertility of the soil due to excessive exploitations, and occasionally earthquakes may have caused and declined the Harappan cities. According to some scholars, the final blow was delivered by the inventions of Aryans, and the destructions of the forts is mentioned in the Rig Veda. Also, the discovery of human skeletons handled together at Mohenjo-daro indicates that the city was invaded by foreigners. The Aryans had superior weapons as well as a swift of horses, and which might have enabled the to become a masters of this region. So with this, we will be ending up this Harappan civilization, and we have learnt the finding of Paleolithic, Neolithic and Metal Age and social economic life of the people during this period. And we have also learned the origin and evaluation of Harappan culture and the importance of the sites and excavations of the Harappan culture. And we learned silent features of Harappan civilization such as town planning, social life, economical conditions, and the Harappans, and the dates of Harappan culture as well as the religious beliefs and the art of the Harappans we learned, and different views of the decline of Harappan civilization also we have learned. With that, I'll be leaving some of the questions and model questions that would help you to answer for questions. And if you don't understand, please do watch this video for several times. For that, with that help, you will be definitely able to answer this question. The first question is choose the correct answer. That is, the Chalcolithic age was followed by. I have given 4 options here. The paucity of the Harappan culture. Again, I have given the option. Fill in the blanks. The most important megalithic site in Tamil Nadu is dash. The chief female deity of the Harappan culture was dash, and I have given match the full for you, and state whether the following statement are true or false that you try to answer, and answer briefly 100 words. Write note on one old stone age, and trace the origin and evaluation of Harappan culture. Name the important sites of Harappan culture. Mention the probable causes for the decline of Harappan culture, and write the brief essay on the prehistorical period of India, and describe the social economical condition of Harappan civilization. So I hope this class was useful for you guys. Do like my videos and subscribe my channel. That will help you to get more notification from us and help us to develop our channel as well. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.